Tonight, Interministerial Committee on Supreme Court Judgment on Local Government Autonomy inaugurated. Plus, motorists appeal to government to repair Shagamu-Ore Expressway as Ember Month fast approaches. Good evening and welcome to NTA Ijebu ode News at 7. I am Ijebu ode. An interministerial committee to enforce the recent Supreme Court judgment granting final autonomy to local governments in the country has been inaugurated by Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume. A statement by the Director, Information and Public Relations, Segun Imoyimi, says the SGF is the committee chairman, while key ministers are also on the committee, along with representatives of state governors and local governments, among others. Their mandate, according to the statement, is to implement the constitutional provision on recognition of local governments as third tiers of government. Key players in the electoral process and other stakeholders have converged on the nation's capital city, Abuja, to further review some of the issues that have discredited the electoral process in the country in the past, with a view to improving on them. This was at a workshop organized by Oda NEPAD to further create more awareness on the need for credible off-cycle and by-elections in 2024. Kenneth Nahim reports.
The 2023 general elections is now history, although some of the processes during the polls triggered the need for clarification to some stakeholders and necessitated more conversations about ensuring a more seamless process. Outer NEPAD is also aligning itself with this initiative to widen views around these factors on the need all of these in the board to ensure that only best practices are adopted in line with the provisions of Electoral Act of 2022.
A positive mindset and selfless delivery can transform elections into the expression of the people's will, leading to governance that genuinely serves and uplifts the entire society.
The workshop is certain that the forthcoming off-cycle elections in Edo and Ondo states will serve as litmus to further test integrity of the electoral umpire, the political will, and the civil obligations to implementing recommendations emanating from different fora such as these.
The electoral management body has to be looked into so that their credibility will be enhanced. For every election, we look up to them.
Discussions here are also to reawaken the consciousness in gatekeeping the electoral process to guarantee civil rights protection and electoral crisis management that will enhance a free, fair, and credible by-elections in 2024.
We should avoid violence. We should avoid maybe double registration. These are the things that you can see that is causing much problem.
The stakeholders, we have a very big role to play to get our system work very well.
It is also expected that the forum will come up with an implementable recommendation on better strategies towards achieving a credible election in Nigeria and in Africa as a whole. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Still on election matters, the Inter-Party Advisory Council has condemned in strong terms the exorbitant nomination forms fee demanded by some states' independent electoral commission as part of the requirement for participation in local government elections. National Chairman of the Council, Yusuf Maman Dante, in a statement said the development is a flagrant violation of the 1999 Constitution as amended, Electoral Act 2022, and subsisting judgments of the Supreme Court declaring the fee illegal and unconstitutional. The statement added that IPAC is aware of the attempt by some anti-democratic forces to suffocate the nation's democracy and the recent financial autonomy granted to local governments by the Apex Court in tandem with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to function effectively as a third tier of government. Its IPAC therefore advocated for total autonomy for the local government by scrapping the state's independent electoral commissions to put a stop to some distractions in the nation's electoral process. You are watching NTA Ijebu ode news at 7. The news continues shortly. Don't go away.
Ambition.
My G, for our ambition, we go hard.
We go day night till we make it.
We go hard till we find that perfect beat.
The perfect beat, the one the world will put on repeat.
So we chase greatness in every moment, making every naira count.
We put out content after content till it's comment after comment. And with Glow by our side,
We have more to offer.
because the MyG bundle comes with bonuses
Giving you way more data value and way more steez on IG, Snapchat, TikTok, WhatsApp, Glow TV, Audio Mac, and Boomplay.
in one fly package.
Dial *312# now and select my G bundle.
Glow Unlimited.
Welcome back. Motorists plying the Shagamu or Benin Expressway are appealing to both the federal and Ogun State governments to urgently attend to the deplorable condition of the road, especially the Ogun State stretch of the expressway. Yemi Dalemo reports that the Shagamu Itele Ajebandele stretch of the highway is in bad condition, causing untold hardship to motorists and providing a safe haven for nefarious activities.
That is the situation that travelers contend with on the ever-busy Shagamu-Ore-Benin Expressway as they lament the agony, damage to their vehicles, and loss of man-hours spent navigating the bad portions of the highway, including cases of kidnapping being encountered on the road.
The road has even become a death trap, uncountable potholes. What we now have is that the other side that is a bit manageable. You see motorists doing one way there, and this has increased the number of accidents. We have had a lot of lives lost.
For us to divert from the other lane to this lane, those roads are no longer motorable.
I cannot enjoy this road at all because of those gallop, and everything.
NTA News gathers that the reconstruction work on the Shagamu-Ore-Benin Expressway, approved by the federal government, commenced from the Ore end of the expressway in the year 2011 and terminated at the Ijebu axis of the road in 2014, leaving about 60 kilometers to Shagamu in deplorable condition. Speaking on the effort of the federal government to make Nigerian roads more pleasurable to drive on, Ogun State Federal Controller of Works Foroshola Oloyede and the Ogun State Commissioner for Works Ade Akinsanya said contractors will soon be mobilized back to the site to complete the remaining 60-kilometer stretch.
We are telling them that as soon as the negotiation is finished, the contractor will resume back on work, will resume back on site, and that the remaining portion, if you compare the remaining portion to what has been done, you will see that the Federal Ministry of Works has done a lot.
We have people evaluating that road right now. So the first thing that we start is we look at all the bad section in the area. I think from Shagamu area around the sawmill, then we march all the way down to where RCC stopped. Then the same thing coming back.
As Nigerians gradually approach the Ember month period when there will be increased vehicular movement along the road, it is expected that the government will do the needful on time to give citizens relief pending the total completion of the expressway, just as it did on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA.
Moving on. The Nigerian National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, alongside Cuban Center for State Control of Drugs and Medicine, have signed a memorandum of understanding on areas of pharmaceuticals for the benefit of the two nations. Sulaiman Abdul Wahab reports that the MOU was signed at the Cuban embassy in Abuja.
Of developing a new chemical entity into an approved therapy that is safe and effective in treating or preventing disease and promoting medical, commercials, and regulatory expertise are some of the focus of this memorandum of understanding.
For this year, 6 students in medicine school from Kaduna State, and we have a perspective for the modern Nigerian students coming to Cuba for this school, medicine school, because it's important that they graduating. We have in Cuba the very good record on it.
The DG NAVDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, said she considered the deal open, adding that Cuba has high competency in biotechnological products, which are the novel technologies for production, formulation, and synthesis of biological substances from the living organisms.
Nigeria working with other countries, Cuba in this case, and Cuba working with us in terms of trading. But one thing that I want to bring out is the fact that Cuba has high intellectual competence in biotechnological products, vaccines, biological products, and Nigeria will gain.
The DG added that Nigeria and Cuba already have an history of relationship through the slave trade, and many Nigerians are still living in Cuba by origin, and these are some of the reasons the moon and the likes are important. In Abuja, Suleiman Abdul Wahab, NTA News.
As arrangements gear up for the 25th anniversary of the National Hospital, the Apex Health Center is soliciting the support of NTA for the success of the Silver Jubilee celebration. Elizabeth Amoroyo reports that Director General of NTA, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, during a meeting assured the management of the hospital of unflinching support of the media organization.
The National Hospital for the past 25 years has been committed to delivering high-quality patient care and advancing medical research. Having achieved so much in the health sector over the years, it's time to roll out programs to celebrate achievements in providing comprehensive medical services. And this, the Chief Medical Director of the hospital says, will be achieved with the support of the foremost media organization, the NTA.
Collaborating with the NTA, which has the largest viewership, I would say, in the continent, means that we'll be able to now show the whole world what we are able to do.
Director General, NTA, assured the management of the hospital of necessary support to amplify activities of the care center.
The NTA is committed to using our platforms to further amplify the success of the National Hospital and to bring to light the remarkable stories of healing and care that emerge from your institution.
Activities lined up for the commemoration of the anniversary will kick off on the 2nd of September 2024. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Up next is sports updates with Olumide Eguntola.
Nigeria's Edo Queens Football Club Tuesday evening takes on their counterpart from FC Inter of Abidjan of Cote d'Ivoire in one of the semi-final matches of the ongoing CAF Women's Champions League Wafu B playoffs. And win for the Nigerian girls, we will see the team grab the ticket to the finals a step closer to flying the country's flag in the Champions League proper, coming up later in the year in Cairo, Egypt. Still on female football, Nigeria's Falconets continue their build-up ahead of the FIFA Under-20 Female World Cup in Bogota, Colombia, with a series of camp activities. The team's focus is to win the trophy after the country reached the finals of the competition twice. The World Cup kicks off on the 31st of August 2024 with Nigeria in Group D alongside Korea Republic, Germany and Venezuela. In grassroots sports development, the Nigerian Basketball Federation says it's collaborating with various ex-internationals and basketball promoters across the country who are focused on developing the game from the grassroots. Speaking to NTA News, President of Nigeria Basketball Federation, Musa Kida, says The NBBF welcomes all the summer camps and clinics.
Such programs were normally exposed to a certain discretion of they needed to get approvals. They needed to go through the hogs of bureaucracy and all that. I totally abolished that.
In a later development, with the inclusion of kickboxing and kung fu in the 2024 National Youth Games, slated for Sabah Delta State, the competition will now feature 36 sports. The Federal Ministry of Sports Development says the games initially scheduled for 10th to 20th September will now hold between 9th and 19th September to allow participants depart for their home states before the Edo State governorship election. The zonal elimination across the 6 geopolitical zones is scheduled to commence on the 20th of August 2024. With sports update, Olumide Eguntola, NTA News.
And that was the news. Up next is the news translation in Yoruba. I am Iyabo Wale Eri. Good evening.